Come on, come on, come on, come on in the building, you guys. Come on in the buildings. It is your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Look, please go tell somebody. Go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, that's how we do it, you guys. That's what it's all about. We are teaching people how to heal themselves. You cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. We're teaching people about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right, happiness, wholeness, and wellness. That's what it's all about. You should be serviced in a holistic format. You should never ever allow anyone, to touch your body that does not know how to facilitate you in an entire manner, which is a holistic manner. That's what it is all about. You should be treated holistically. Okay. Now we have a true fire way of being able to provide a alternative to modern medicine. Okay. This is first time in history, but it's been told that's what we're doing. All right. It is not a product that can heal you. It's not a panacea in a product, but there is a panacea in a program. And if we walk you through a program of how to balance your life out with nature, we are telling you off the rip, guarantee you that you're going to see some success, all because you have allowed yourself to get back in tune with nature. Now, if anybody ever tells you guys get in tune with nature, I know we hear that a lot. We throw that phrase around a lot. Get in tune with nature. Get in tune with nature. The first thing you should say is what channel is nature on? Okay. And for the last few weeks, months to years, we've been teaching you guys about what Earth's frequency is 7.8 hertz. Okay. Earth frequency is 7.8 hertz. All right. Earth frequency is 7.8 hertz. All right. And so, in order for you to get into tune with anything, you got to know the channel that you got to tune into. And so the channel for Earth frequency to get in tune with nature is going to be 7.8 hertz. Now, ironically, there is a particular part of your brain that can pick up 7.8 hertz, which is the theta in your brain waves. It's called the theta, right? You got alpha, beta, theta, you got all these different things, right? But in your theta, you can pick up 7.8 hertz. And guess how? Through meditation, through sleep, through creativity, imagination, intuitiveness. So it's at meditation, intuitiveness, sleep that you're able to get in tune with nature. So it's at your rest when you're able to rest not only your body but also your mind is when you're at your highest moment, when you're at your highness, when you're at your elevated state, when you're at your enlightenment, when you're at your ascension, is when you're actually at contentment with what nature can provide you. All right. So that's what we teach you on the HerbMan Show. You cannot heal yourself unless you know that stuff, you guys. You must know the human frame and the human design. That's what's going to get you well on your way. You can't get an alignment if you don't know where you are. So with the owner's manual that we provide, the program that we provide for a funky measly $50, We give you the blueprint on how you're able to get your life back into balance and ultimately get your health or your wealth back into where you want it to be. Okay. And we don't need to make this a costly situation for you to be able to get this information. We need to make this accessible, affordable, but most importantly, highly effective for you to be able to get the residual out of it that you deserve for that little funky measly $50. It's going to be the best investment that you can possibly do. We're actually targeting the healthy because we're trying to keep you healthy. Okay. But if you're asking the question, is this something that I could be considering if I need a curative thing, if I need something to help me in my time of need? Yes, it can help you as well. Okay. So it's not only a preventative tool, it's also a curative tool that you can utilize, that you know that you can put your health back into your own hands and get you the way you need to be and ultimately get you back into balance. The oldest timekeeping system on the planet is the following of the sun, following the sun's path. That's what we do here at HerbMan Inc. That's what we teach you guys about on the HerbMan show. And that's how we're able to get you to understand what Mama Nature say about your health. Okay. That's what we do. Right. So guys, appreciate all of you guys coming in thus far. We're at about 60 something people into the room right now. You know, we normally build about 200 to 300. So let's try to get this thing back up to that particular point. All right. This is free information. You don't have to pay for this information. All you got to do to pay for this information is pay attention. And how you do that is by simply double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100K doing this live. All right. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. And since we're already there, then we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. All right. So we've been teaching you guys a lot about seasons and a lot about how all of this particular mathematics go when it comes to nature. Give me 1 second, you guys. I don't know why every time I get on the live, I forget my little tissues to wipe my board. Okay. But for the longest time, we've been teaching you guys about how to get in tune with nature, how the owner's manual is probably the most effective alternative medicine tool on the planet, and how we're over here coming live from South Africa, trying to get this out to as many people as possible in as many parts of the world as possible. Okay. So if you guys want us to talk, if you guys want to book us, please email us and we'll be able to get back to you. Okay. But at the end of the day, we've been trying to put you upside the head with why it is very important for you to get back in tune with nature and how some of the nuances of calendar, when you're looking at the calendars and all that type of stuff that we have at our disposal, it can knock us off of time just a little bit. And that little subtle movement of knocking us off of time. Welcome, welcome, all you guys from YouTube, you guys. From just that subtle movement of time, whether it be the Gregorian calendar or whether it be the Mayan calendar or thus far, whatever you want to call it, these subtle knockoffs of the original time allows you to be out of tune. So when you're looking at tuning in to 7.8 hertz and you get knocked off frequency a few numbers, then guess what? The channel ain't gonna come in that well. So now when you're trying to channel nature's healing power, I'm about to go somewhere with this, right? That's why you need to keep tapping and I'll keep talking because it ain't never been a time that I've ever uploaded a video or came on the live and I'm not about to give you something that you deserve or that you need in the time and space. So this is a valuable time that you're getting right now. Please pay attention. If you get off of frequency, then it's going to be very difficult to channel nature's powers if you're not in tune with nature. And sometimes when you get through this paradigm, you enter into a phase where you're so physically drained, where you're so physically weak that you need another fuel. You need nature's power. You need something else to help you. How can you channel something else to help you if you don't know the channel? If you ain't in tune, okay? So there is channels for eradicating cancer. There are channels for eradicating kidney disease. There are channels for eradicating tumors. There are channels for eradicating autoimmune disease. There are channels for eradicating HIV and herpes. There are channels, which means that there is a particular frequency that you got to get on to pull this sign, this wonder, this miracle out of nature. Everybody follow me? There are channels that you must get on to pull this sign, this wonder, this miracle out of nature. You're asking for something from something because you don't have the power to do it. Your body too weak to heal it. Your body too weak to cut back on his own kidneys. Your body too weak to cure it of that lung cancer. Your body too weak to cure it of that leukemia. Your body too weak to cure it of that autoimmunity. Your body is too weak to cure it of that lupus. Your body is too weak to cure it of that AIDS. Your body is too weak to cure it of that herpes. Your body is too weak to cure it of its diseases. So then, where do you pull the energy from? You got to be able to get into a different frequency, a different channel. And what they've done to us for thousands of years that's been on this planet is that they've knocked off your ability to channel by knocking you off frequency, by knocking you off time. And a little subtle differences in time allows you not to be able to do things in time. Look, if the job starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and I get there at 6, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? If the job start at 8 o'clock in the morning, I get there at 6 in the morning, what I'm gonna do? For 2 hours, what I'm gonna do? You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. The job ain't open, the doors ain't open, ain't nobody here yet. So that little subtle change of Gregorian and Mayan and all of this. So now, okay, so now today is July the what? The 2nd. So you would write this if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, you're gonna say it's 7:20, it's 7/2/25. That's what you're gonna say. If you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, you're gonna say that today is 7/2/25. That's what you're gonna say. But the reality of it is that that's not the day for the northern and southern hemisphere. If you're in the northern hemisphere, how about if I tell you that today is 5/2/25? That you're 2 months off. That actually July the 2nd is 5/2/25. And what if I told you that if you're in the southern hemisphere, that today is not 7/25, but today would be around uh, 10 or 11/25. Let's see. 11/2/25. All right. Yeah, there you go. So the northern hemisphere is 5/2/25, not 7/2/25. In the southern hemisphere, it is 11/2/25, not 7/2/25. Okay. So just that subtle difference, can you see how you're off of time? Can you see how you be off time? I thought it was 3 months behind. No, we're 2 months behind in the northern hemisphere. We are basically 5 months ahead in the southern hemisphere, right? But because the southern hemisphere would be ahead, you put the southern hemisphere back. And because the southern hemisphere would be behind, you push the southern hemisphere forward. Okay. Now this is a lot like the birthright battle within the belly of the mother of Esau and Jacob, right? The birthright battle of Esau and Jacob, right? So you'll see that again. Let me tell you this. I want y'all to listen to this. In the current state, the southern hemisphere would be 2 months behind. So you push it forward. In the current state, the southern hemisphere would be 5 months ahead. So you push it back. Okay. So you pushing the southern hemisphere people back 50 years while pushing the northern hemisphere people forward 20 years. Now you get people who are off time, on time, and the only people who understand this is the elite, or the people that you would call the Illuminati, etc., the bloodlines, whatever. But at the end of the day, this is not a Illuminati or bloodline thing. This is just what happened in nature that somebody got to keep record of in order for folks to know this information, in order for you to stay on top. If you don't understand how to ride nature, never be on top. You can never be the elite. You can never be the Illuminati. You can never be. These people aren't up there because of money. They're up there because of nature. They know something you don't know, which means that they know how to ride the tides of nature. And you don't. You don't know when to gamble. You don't know when to bet. You don't know when to take your money out of the stock market or put money into the stock market. The reason why they know it is because they created it, because they created a design based on nature. The stock market, all of that stuff is based on nature. They know when to pull in and pull out, and it seems as if they are playing the game with you, where they have a top-heavy idea of what's going to happen before you do, because they know that it's in tune with nature. Okay, this is the most ancient scientific design on the planet Earth. Right. So now, with that being said, then now you can understand why agriculture is such a big deal when it comes to your health and your wealth. Okay? When it comes to your health and your wealth. Now, I'm going to be talking to some special people today. All right? If you guys want to know more about your owner's manual, you can DM me and we'll get you the information as possible. But I'm going to be talking to you more about the special people today. All right? So the reason why this live video is called agriculture is because I'm trying to get you to see that what I'm teaching you is about agriculture. And there is a reproductive theme that rides along agriculture. Okay? There is a reproductive theme that lies beneath agriculture. When you're reading the Bible, when you're looking at the celestials, when you're looking at the Greeks, all of this. Now, here's the thing, God ain't Greek. Okay? God ain't Greek. A lot of things that you're reading is from the Greek. The Bible was written from the Greeks. Okay, a lot of things are written from the Greeks, but God ain't Greek. What we're doing is we're taking natural phenomena and we have personified natural occurrences throughout the time and history of man. Okay, that's all we've done. We've taken natural phenomena, and because we couldn't explain it, we couldn't control it, we didn't have anything to do with it. We just personified it to give it characteristics that we could identify with. That's all we did. Took natural phenomena and put human personifications on those things. Whether it was an eagle, you got the eye of the hawk, the eye of the eagle, you got the strength of the bow, you got the speed of the cheetah. You know, you just taking personifications and putting it on animals and putting it on natural phenomena. That's all we've done. But agriculture, masculine and feminine energy, all of these things are reproductive in nature. Please, somebody put some in the chat for me. All of these things are reproductive in nature. Do you know what that means? Do you know what the underbelly of the celestial and the Bible and the Kabbalah and the Torah and the Quran? Do you know what it means to be reproductive in nature? Basically, what it's saying is that you must have a innate ability to take two things and create one. Okay, waiting in grace, walking in grace. You heard that? A underlying reproductive nature of all these stories is about being able to take two different components and create one. Whether it was the sun and the moon creating day and night to make one day, whether it was woman and man both having intercourse with one another, creating one baby. It was all about being able to take two different aspects of cultivation of resources and creating one dynamic with it. It's how you created tools. You took clay and added some mud, added some water to it, and it became mud. Now you got a brick. You see what I'm saying? Period. You took clay, added some water to it, let it get cooled down, let it get hot, and now you got a brick. How you can put two things together and create one. It's a reproductive undertone of everything that we're doing. So now that we're talking about reproductive, again, I'm going to teach you guys this. In ancient Egypt, there were 3 seasons. Okay, 3 seasons. There wasn't 4 seasons back then. It wasn't 2 seasons. In ancient Egypt, they worshiped and they particularly understood the climate to be of 3 seasons. The first being Aket, right? Aket, Ahket, Aket. Aket was the season of the flood. Flooding season was Aket, right? The next season was called Peret, Peret, Peret. Peret or Peret was going to be your planting season, right? Your planting. So you had the flood, then you had the planting season, right? Now, right there in the middle of Aket and Peret, something special happened. That after the flood happened, after high tide, after the most highest state of consciousness happened, it left behind the season Aket, left behind what they call fertile silt, SILT. This fertile silt was a growing medium, real black, what they call the terra preta, right? Black earth, Kemet, black land. Black land, Kemet, the terra preta, all came after the flood. The flood of the Nile left behind a fertile silt that you call the terra preta, the black land, the black earth. That fertile silt is a growing medium. So that when you plant, peret, when you peret into that fertile silt, you're going to grow in abundance. So when at my most highest state, when my most highest state is over, meaning when low tide come in, after high tide is low tide. See, a lot of people don't value the lower self. A lot of people don't value the low tide. A lot of people don't value this part of life. So therefore, they act frivolously with the physical, the lower self nature. Either you ignore it too much or you consume too much, you abuse it too much, one or the other. Now, here's the thing. After the high tide, it was left behind a fertile silt so that during low tide, you can plant in that silt. And also in that low tide, not only do you get planting season out of the low tide, you also get harvest. So the low tide is not only an opportunity for one thing, it's an opportunity for another. It's not only an opportunity for you to plant, it's an opportunity for you to harvest. So there was one season all by itself that was just conducive to the flood. I can't. Peret is the planting season. The harvesting season also happened in low tide, but it was called Shemu, Shemu. So those are your three Egyptian seasons: Aket, Peret, and Shemu. But Peret and Shemu happened during the low tide. So you have a time where you're going to rest, the high tide, the high, your most highest state is your most rested state. And then you have a time where you're going to work and you're going to reap what you sow. That's your low tide. So when we're teaching this owner's manual, you can basically see where high tide and low tide would be, where these opportunities in time and space happens for the ordinary person, so that now we can start to capitalize on these opportunities, just like the one percenters, just like the Illuminati's, the special bloodlines, and et cetera, et cetera. Now we start to know the time. Now we start understanding how to definitely take advantage of these nature's opportunities. And so, if you can take advantage of nature's opportunity in all of those other areas that we just spoke about, just did, then know that you can take opportunity in nature's ability to heal. There is a time of healing in nature. There is a time of healing in nature. So we know that healing is valuable. We know that healing is relevant. We know that healing is definitely possible because nature provides an opportunity for itself to heal. So we know that. We ain't even got to guess on that. So when you come in to somebody like me and you like, man, is healing my kidney possible? Is healing my disease possible? I'm going to automatically tell you, yeah, just off of the design of nature. That's a surety. Okay, that's a surety. How can you find out these times? By getting your owner's manual, Walking in Grace. Okay, for your funky, measly little $50 that you got holding on real tight in your pocket. Okay, for your little funky, measly $50 that you got you holding on tight to in your pocket. These are what you get in your owner's manual. Okay, all right. So again, what we're trying to illustrate to you though is why this is important to an agriculturist, a person who is a hunter gatherer, a person who got to go from hunter gatherer to a farmer. How is it that we can go from hunter gathering to farming? We got to know this. The only way you go from hunter gatherer to farmer is by knowing how to do this, by understanding the time, by understanding how to be in tune with nature. Something told you to start saving those seeds. Something told you that you can create the ground again, and now you can start farming because again, the flood left fertile silk. Who in the hell looking for what the flood left behind? Something clicked that during this time, we might call it a tumultuous time, but it's leaving behind gems and nutrients in the soil that we can start to plant our own food. Where that come from? What idea that came from? That you was a hunter gatherer. Now you don't went from hunting gathering to watching the navigation of the stars to understand when it's gonna rain to know when to plant seed. Where they do that at? The history of agriculture, right? Understanding that when you get the dynamic of agriculture down pat, you will in return become the greatest species on the planet again. When you get agriculture down pat, you take over medicine, and food. What two bigger industries that you got with them two? When you take over agriculture again, you take back over medicine and food, the two biggest industries on the planet. Ain't nothing bigger than these two. When you take back over agriculture, you take back over medicine and food, the two biggest industries on the planet. What are we talking about here? We're talking about trillions of dollars. When you take back over agriculture, you take back over medicine and food. $1 trillion industry. This ain't no small change ideas that we're talking about. Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? No, not in the way that you believe in it, but I believe in it, but not in probably in the way that you do. And biggest money maker in America, naturally facts. Yes, 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 yes. So at the end of the day, the bottom line is how do I know how to get into alignment? Does anybody on the chat right now know how to get into alignment? That's the biggest question. Does anybody on the chat right now know how to get into alignment? Okay, because that's the question everybody wants to know. How do I get into alignment? How do I know when I'm in alignment? How do I understand about alignment? How do I get to understand the dynamics of what it feels like? What am I supposed to expect? What am I supposed to do and to prepare for that? What does this whole particular dynamic feel like, right? And what I'm trying to get you to see is that there is no way you can get into alignment if you don't know where you are currently at. How can you get into alignment if you don't know? So what I'm saying is, if I told you that this is 7.8 hertz, right? You're on a different channel, and you know that. You know you're not on 7.8 hertz. But the bottom line is you don't know where you're at. So you don't know if you're on 99.9. You don't know if you're on B103. You don't know if you're on 107.9. You don't know if you're on 97.9. You don't know if you're on 104.4 FM. You don't know if you're on 1380 WAOK. You don't know if you're on 1680 the beat. You don't know if you're on because so we don't know where you're on. We know that you're not on 7.8 hertz, but we don't know where you're at. So how can we align you? How can we align you? Is on what we put into our system firstly. Huh? How can we align you when we don't know where you at? So the significance of the owner's manual and that measly little $50 is to be able to see that alignment. That's one aspect, but also to be able to visualize what that alignment looks like. How far away? What do you got to do to get into it? But here's the thing: you're not never far away from alignment. You just ain't aligned to where you currently are at. Did somebody hear that? Or do I got to say that one more time? Do I got some people in the back? Do I got some folk back there keep tapping the screen? You guys, I keep talking to get us up to 100K. Did anybody hear that? You're never far away from alignment. You just don't know how to align to your current location because you don't know where you currently at. You're never far away from alignment. If you wanted something over here and you over here, forget about it. But what you want over here is over here. It's just that you can't see it over here. You're over here with it. Bless me, bless me. You're over here with it. You just got to know how to get in tune with it. So we show you where you at. For a funky measly $50, we show you where you at and how to get in alignment with where you at. Stop trying to get in. You can't force your will into nature's will. You got to start aligning your will with nature's will. You can't force nature's will into your will, but you can force your will into nature's will. Nature's will won't fit into your will, but your will will fit into nature's will. You cannot bend nature to your manipulation, but you can bend your will unto nature's. You can't control nature, but you can control your will. Everybody get it? So instead of trying to bend God, instead of trying to put God, instead of trying to manipulate God, instead of trying to fold God up, instead of trying to put it in your back pocket, instead of trying to carry it with you, you need to carry your stuff with it. It's the bigger figure in the picture. It's the bigger individual in the picture. It has the bigger reputation. It has the bigger kahunas. It is the big dog in the room. It is the elephant in the room. It is the maneuver and the progenitor. It is the operator and the destroyer. It is the generator and the progenitor. So you can't put it in your back pocket. You can put your own wheel in your back pocket, but you can't put nature's wheel back there. So what we try to get you to do, instead of trying to bend nature's wheel to your wheel, bend your wheel to nature's. Okay. And so when we take your birthday and we show you all of the answers you get out of that birthday, don't be surprised. The biggest thing about the owner's manual is the remedies that you get. Because not only is this thing going to highlight issues and problems in your life, it's also going to highlight solutions and resolutions in your life. So don't think of this as a one-tracked thing, all about highlighting how imperfect, how maybe this or that I need to work on. That's not what the owner's manual is about. The owner's manual at the precipice of what it's about is to be a guide for you, to get you back on schedule, to get you back in alignment, to get you back in tune, to get you back understanding your locale, your location, to find yourself in the overall overarching nuances of life. Where are they doing that at? For a funky measly $50. Where do you think they're doing that at? How many people on the planet? Do you know if they had the information that I had, they would probably charge you $50,000 for this information for the $50. So where are they doing this at? Where are we getting this type of exposure? Where are we getting this type of conversation being started? How do we understand this dynamic when it really truly is talking about healing thyself? How do we tap into our self-healing qualities, our self-healing active, abilities? Uh, how does that look when we're talking about activating particular part of it? When I'm saying that I'm tired of going to the doctor, what do I have at my disposal? When I don't want to take medications no more, what can I do? When I don't want to do this and don't want to do that anymore, and I'm tired of being on Skid Row, and I'm tired of being on Rickman's Row, and I'm tired of being on the deathbed, and I'm tired of being on the sick bed, and I'm tired of paying the insurances, and I'm tired of paying the Medicaid and all of the Medicare bills, and I'm just sick and tired of the rat race of what this healthcare industry is doing for me, but I'm also not ready to die yet, then what choices can I have? What things can I do that's going to help me be able to resolve my problems, even when I've gave up on the systematic infrastructure where I feel like good for me? We got to be able to solve that and question for the millions of us that are out there that are at that brink, that are at that particular place right now, that are asking themselves, what is the alternative if I don't want to do this anymore? What is the alternative when I don't want to take medications anymore? What is the alternative when I don't want to eat this no more? When I don't want to do that no more? When I don't want to go there no more? What is my alternatives? And there has to be some conversation that need to be had about what those alternatives looks like, and it can't be all caught up in having to see your ass every day. My alternative shouldn't be that I gotta come to you every day. My alternative shouldn't be that I gotta buy from you every day. My alternative should be because you ain't no better than the medical facility. Hell, I had to go see my doctor every day. I had to go call them every other month. I had to go down there to Walgreens every other week. I ain't got time to look. If I got to rob Peter to pay Paul, then you ain't doing me no justice if I got to do it that way. So you can't come into the paradigm offering the same thing that the people are used to. You got to offer something different. And so what we're doing is saying that in this particular dynamic of the owner's manual here is you're getting something for a particular small value with great emphasis on how you take your own health back into your own hands. So no, you don't have to come see me every day because you're going to have what you need in the palm of your hand. You're going to have what foods you need to eat in the palm of your hands by way of the owner's manual. You're going to have what herbs you need to take in the palm of your hands by way of the owner's manual. You're going to have what activities you need to involve yourself in the palm of your hands by way of the owner's manual. You're going to have the things that you need to work on spiritually in your palm of your hands by way of the owner's manual. You're going to have your physical tendencies in the palm of your hands by way of the owner's manual. You're going to have your characteristics down packed with your two particular egos in the reference of the sun signs in the palm of your hands by the way of your owner's manual. You're going to have what model of a human being you are, which makes you different in specs. What I mean by this is that everybody got a car, but your 1989 Toyota is a little different made than the 2025 Toyota. So even though they both Toyotas, they both gonna get you to where they want to go. They require different tools to be repaired from different parts, and you get that in the palm of your hand by way of the owners for a fucking measly $50. And on top of all that, to add icing on the cake for that little funky measly dollar that your $50 you holding on to, is you also get to chart yourself through life because this comes with it. Each one of these zodiacs is a life lesson. Each one of these zodiacs are months. So from March to April, you got Aries. April to May, you got Taurus. May to June, you got Gemini. From June to July, you got Cancer. From July to August is Leo. August to September is Virgo. September to October is Libra. October to November is Scorpio. November to December is Sagittarius. December to January is Capricorn. January to February is Aquarius. February to March, Pisces. And it starts all over. Each zodiac represents 30 days, represents a month. It has 3 separate deacons per month. So each 10 days, there are a particular different deacon that's within each month. So you got 3 deacons per zodiac, which means 3 times 12, you got 36 deacons. Okay, 36 deacons. All right. And to be exact, you got 21 deacons in the northern constellation, and you got 15 deacons in the southern constellation. Just to kind of let you know about where these deacons are located. But there are 36 deacons. Okay. So you didn't know that your current government, the European government, the White House, and how that whole, when they come to the meetings in the White House, when you go look at C-SPAN, and they all in that little room together. Well, that's how church was before government was built like that. So church looked a lot like the Congress room. Okay. And now when you go to Europe and you see the same thing in their governmental system, that was church before it was a separation of church and state. So when you're coming into Congress and you got this man sitting up here as the president and you talking to him, and you got all of these people surrounding them in this oval shape, that was the Vatican, that was church before it was state government. So we get a lot of these understandings from something way more older than what you can ever understand. Okay. And this is no different because this is the oldest timekeeper on the planet, and it is the path of the sun, or what you would call the ecliptic of the sun. And this gives you your own GPS system as to knowing your current location and your destination. And that's the top of the icing for funky meats. Fit it off. Is that like night round table? You can call it that. Okay. You can kind of quantify that as that, right? Seeing how many nights it was, and all that type of stuff, you'll see how it correlates with what we're talking about, Chelsea. Right? Spine, Nile, and Lotus grows south to north. Is this the moon's waxing surface magnetic field? All right, so we're talking about the waxing and the waning of the moon. Okay, the waning goes with the low tide. The waxing goes with the high tide. Okay, the waning goes with the low tide. The waxing goes with the high tide. So just to make it really simple for you, you got high tide, you got low tide, you got waning, you got waxing. Waxing goes along with the high tide characteristics, while waning goes along with the low tide characteristics, right? So there is other opportunities that you can pull from even the waning if you know how to get into your low tide meditation, your low tide understanding. I just told you that low tide is work, high tide is rest. Low tide is planting of the seed, spring, okay? Planting of the seed, all right? That's spring. That's this time. Okay. Then you got the harvest. Okay. Then you got the harvest, right? So in actuality, that was over here, which was the harvest. And then you got the flood, which was the whole high tide. So you got 6 months of flood, but then you breaking up 6 months of planting and harvest. Well, look at this. If I got to live to be 120 years old, and I'm going by this dynamic, and I'm gonna say you're gonna give me 60 years of flood, flood of emotions, flood of thoughts, flood of ideas, flood of creativities, flood of spiritual auctions, flood of all these spiritual giftings and all this. You're gonna give me 60 years of my most highest state in order for me to be able to understand how to do something for 30. I'm gonna have 30 years of planting the seed and another 30 years of harvest out of 60. So you gave me 60 years of flood, of rest, made me work 30 years to plant seed and 30 years of harvest. So you ain't even really, you working me 60 years. Yeah, I give you that because I got a plant, I'm working, and I got a harvest, I'm working. I got a plant out there in the atmosphere, and I got a harvest out here in the sun. Right? I got a plant in the sun, I got a harvest in the sun. But you gave me 6 months of rest. Could y'all see how the bow do this? This is the bow. This is the bull and the bow. This is the stock market, the bull and the bear. The bear is gonna rest. That's high tide. It's gonna rest for 6 months, hibernate. But because the bear hibernated and rested, it allowed for fertile ground, fertile soil. In that fertile soil, now I'm gonna start to plant some of my ideas. I'm gonna start to grow and develop some of my ideas, and then I'm gonna harvest them and go right back into hibernation for 6 more months again. You see what we're saying? Into what layers do you break down the owner's manual? So the owner's manual is being broken down mostly in the medical layers, right? So we mostly are trying to help you get rid of whatever issues you got going on physically. But we also will be there for you. We're always there. So once you pay this little funky measly $50, you actually have a lifetime access to me, right? So you can save my contact. You can download WhatsApp. You can get in contact with me. I'm currently in South Africa right now. So we're coming live from South Africa. But at the end of the day, regardless, you can email me, text me, you can call me, and I can walk you through further what's going on with your health, what's going on in the owner's manual. But at the end of the day, it's more about getting you back into balance physically, but it's going to show you your spiritual innuendos, your spiritual maybe traumatic events that have happened that may have been gateways to these physical issues, right? So we're gonna go a little deeper, and I always encourage people to call so that we can start to, if you haven't been watching me long enough, so that we can start to at least parallel what issues go with what spiritual tendencies go with what physical tendencies, if that makes sense. So you can call me, okay, and you can get that sense of direction and understanding. YouTube, what y'all got to say down here in YouTube land? We are live on YouTube as well, you guys. So all of my TikTok people, please go over there and support us on YouTube. And all of my YouTube fans, please support us on TikTok as well. All right. Anybody else got any questions thus far? Any questions thus far? How many people understand this? How many people don't? Who needs more information? Let me know. We are at the 50,000 like mark. I appreciate all of you guys. We're also almost at the 5 o'clock mark. So we know that we're doing pretty good for time and for likes. All right. But you must understand this dynamic. Okay. This dynamic is really going to show you. So, like, if we get birthdays on here, which I may do a few, if we do a few birthdays, then you get to see where you at. Where you at? Where you at? Am I in high tide? Am I in flood? Am I in rest season? Am I in planting season? Am I in invest season? Am I in flourish? Am I in harvest? This is all about those dynamics, okay? And we're using ancient technology, ancient techniques to get you to see how strong this particular information is and how it can be for our future moving forward. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? How do you get the manual? Sandy, all you got to do is DM me. Okay. You DM me here on TikTok and we'll get you the information that you need. More information. I just started tuning in, Dominique. What you need? What more information that you need? What is the questions? You push out questions, I push out information. Yeah, him and state that you're interested. He'll get back to you. Yes, yes, yes. Right now, I'm in investment season. If you're in the spring of life, Michael, there you go. Spring, right? Planting season. Planting season. So this is a growing and develop season. Growing and developing. So again, I don't necessarily know which one of these three you at, but Aries is going to be that invest in self. Taurus is going to be that invest in thing, personal possession. Right? Gemini is going to be that invest in people. Invest in your brothers, your sisters, invest in people around you. So you're gonna have Aries being the invest in self, Taurus is going to be the invest in things, Gemini is going to be the invest in people. Okay. I don't have the book. We ain't got the book ready yet. I do not. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, because you didn't ask no question about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the owner's manual. The owner's manual serves as a guide for you to be able to get the optimal health. All right, it's for a funky measly $50. That's what you need to know. That's what we're talking about. 3 more years, I'll be in summer. Okay, so right now, then you're in the invest in people. You're in that Gemini, Nike. So you're in that cycle of investing in your loved ones, investing in the people close to you. All right. And then you start getting over here into that harvest season. But you'll see you still in that body season. You're still in that electric. You're still in that work. You're still in that you gotta do. You're still in that physical fitness test side of life. If you don't pass that physical fitness test, you don't get out of this particular paradigm. Okay? You don't get out of it. Foxy 57 said today of 4868. Okay, 4868. I like doing my old school. 4868. Okay, 4868. 321 to 421 is going to be an Aries. Okay, so you're currently right in here. All right, you're currently right in here. Your finish line, your starting line is your finish line. So your whole point to this right here, Fox, is to get back to Aries. That's the whole point around this circle. Now, being born in 68 makes it that you are what, approximately about 57 years old. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 7 years into Virgo. Okay. So for the last 7 years, you've been all about your health and fitness, which is why you're watching me right now, Foxy 57. Okay. You have been about health and fitness for the last 7 years. You spend 10 years each lesson. So that means you got 3 more years to go in Virgo. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is that you look like you're almost in transition to the spiritual side. So for the last 57 years, you've been in your physical side. You've been in your planting seed and your harvest. And now you're about to go into the flood. You're about to go into your spiritual part of life for the next 60 years. You're about to be in your spiritual time. That means less physical, more spiritual energy that's going to be required to make it through this time. This ain't going to be asking you for your body energy. It's going to be asking you for your spirit energy. All right. So now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So since 55, so for the last 2 years, you've been feeling some kind of transition. Now, this transition is going to be major life changing events that may start to rear their head for you between 55 and 65. Right? When you 65, you out of that window. You ain't got to worry about it no more. But between 55 and 65, there can be a major life-changing event that's going to happen to you or for you in this time. So be aware and be prepared for that. 4868, that means that you were born in the middle decan of Aries. So you want to be careful because you can be prone to migraines as well as bowel issues. Okay. Migraine headaches, as well as bowel issues, can be some of the two things that you want to worry about as you move forward with your life. But just understand that you're going into this spiritual thing, and so there's a transitioning that's happening for you. Welcome it, don't fight against it, and start to ride the waves of what's happening to you in your life. Okay, Foster 57 says yes. 41779, same thing. Your Aries, okay, from 321 to 421. All right, so your Aries as well. You were born in the third deacon. So yours is going to be more concentration and then more excrement. So concentration and Sandy, concentration issues, but also bladder issues, excrement, kidneys, and bladder. Okay, excrement issues, kidneys and bladder, and concentration issues are going to be the top two things that you got to worry about. But you're being in 79, you're still up here in this physical part too. 79 means that you're about 45, 46. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 6. So you're in Leo. You're in Leo, Sandy. All right. But either or, the biggest thing is to know that you're in this physical side of life. You're in this planting seed and harvest time. Okay, so both of you guys are in the harvest, so you should be seeing a lot of abundance. Okay, Foxy 57 and Sandy, y'all should not be broke as hell. You should not be broke as hell. You ain't at a part of time in your life where you're broke as hell. Y'all see how I know this now? Fox 57 said so point on. I know it. I know y'all don't want to talk about y'all money, but I know who got some money and who don't. I've been doing this too long. Right? I know who got the money, who don't. I've been doing it too long. So I know where one of y'all mama got that money, son. Thanks. Well, pay attention to my kidneys and sisters. Yes, your bladder. Definitely your bladder, Sandy. All right. Crafty 330. I'm sorry, that's Auntie E. 6/22/61, you're a Cancer, okay? 6/22/61, you are a Cancer. All right, six. The only reason I did them two was because they were so close together like that. But 6/22/61. Let me write Mama down. 6/22/61 is a Cancer. Okay, so you're right here, right? Your starting point is your finish line. Being 61, you are currently 64 years old. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 4. You are 4 years into Capricorn. All right. So in the last years, and this is transition, okay? So this is transition, which means you just well, you almost out of transition, you're still in it. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So from 55 to 65, you're almost out. So from 55 to 65, you've been doing some moving around and you've been trying to figure out if you want to lose this job or not. Okay. Auntie E, Auntie E, you've been doing some moving around and you've been trying to figure out what you're going to do with your career, what you're going to do with your legacy, your reputation, your public image. You've been doing some moving around between 55 and 65. There have been some moving pieces, and you've been trying to figure out what you want to do long term when it comes to your career and your particular work. That's what you've been thinking about right now. Also, you are in the spiritual time of life. Okay, y'all see Auntie E said yes. I don't know Auntie E. Okay, so you see, you're also in a spiritual time of life. You're at your most highest state, Auntie E. This is the highness. This is the high tide of life. This is your magnetic time. You want to do less physical work and more spiritual work during this time. Girl, if you just sit back and rest and meditate and sleep and dream and imagine again, you'll start to magnetically draw the life to you that you want without even moving a muscle. You just got to know where you at in life. Hopefully that help you, Auntie E. Okay? Just dream again. You're at that time now where if you just dream about it, just think about it, just imagine it, daydream about it, just rest and rest your mind on it. You ain't got to worry about it. Good, you at that time in your life now that if you think on it, it'll come. You ain't even got to worry. Worry should not even be a thing for you. Just think on it and it'll come. Okay? Yeah, it's going to manifest. That's where you at. And sometimes what we be trying to do is work at a time we supposed to rest. And we resting at a time we supposed to work. Auntie E, rest, rest. That's where you at, baby. And that's how you align. That's how you get to the grooves. That's how you ride nature. How many of you know where you are? How many of you know where you are in life? How many of you know? And I'm telling you the truth that $50, that little measly funky $50 I be cussing out every 5 minutes when I get on here every day, it's worth just that. Just the chart itself that you get with this owner's manual. The $50 is worth that. Just the chart, just to track me. Auntie E said rest. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, definitely. Yes, that's where you at right now. I don't know. Pisces, sweet madam said I don't know. Pisces, and but you should know, okay? But you should know. And the fact that you guys were the two most honest people on the planet coming up here today, we're gonna see. Sweet madam and Pisces Blackfoot, you have the floor. Give me your birthday. Okay? Sweet madam and Blackfoot, give me your birthday. You have the floor. Now, all we gonna do is just show you where you at, okay? Anything else you need, you can get in your owner's manual for that funky measly $50. We'll give you all the information that you get. You get way more information than what you get today. Okay. Sweet Madam is 329 1978. 329.78. Okay. So let's see where you at. 321 to 421 is going to be an Aries. Okay. So we just did this. So you back over here. The biggest thing to this is what you get in your owner's manual is the starting point is the finish line. So this is your destination. We already get with your birthday. 329.78. Now you've been a 78, baby. Let me know that you want to be what, 47 years old this year? Right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 7. All right. So you are currently in Leo, right? So you're in your abundant state. The sun is shining on your ass right now, sweet madam. Meaning that you the shit right now. It ain't nothing that you can't do that can't be the shit. You walking into a room and everybody like, that's sweet madam. Okay, because you're in your Leo. This is your abundant phase. This is your harvesting phase. This is your abundant phase for you. Okay. But this also is a phase of where you're still requiring a lot of physical energy. So don't burn your body out. Okay. But pace yourself in this time. Okay. So that you can understand the parameters in which you're in. But you're in that abundant phase. So you're in the best time of your life. You're in the most abundant time of your life. So embrace it. Now, this is a low tide situation. So that means that you want to be able to understand what that low tide season is. It's not your most highest state, but you can do a lot in the low tide state. So you need to get what you need to get. Plant your seeds. You need to get your harvest. You've been working. You done went to college or whatever you done did over there. You need to do it and you need to get out. The biggest health things that you need to worry about, though, 329.78. Okay, the biggest thing is injuries to your head. Okay, injuries to your head, any kind of injuries to your skull, you want to be careful about. And then also, sweet madam, your metabolism. Your metabolism and head injuries, be careful about, sweet madam. All right, let us know what you think about the reading. All right. Pisces Blackfoot. Now it's amazing that both of y'all chimed in like that and y'all 2 weeks apart. Y'all 2 weeks apart. Boy, I tell you, you can't beat it like that, right? 2 weeks apart. So we got 316.74. All right. So from 221 to 321 is going to be a Pisces. All right. So you are a Pisces while the Miss Sweet Madam was an Aries. All right. So you're going to be currently right here. Your starting point is your destination, Pisces Blackfoot. Right? So your whole agenda is to make it back to here in this sun's ecliptic, in following the path of the sun. Right? But 74, you're 5 years older than me, which is going to make it be that you are 51. All right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1. You are also exactly where Sweet Madam is at. You're in Leo. You're at the best time in your life. You're also in abundance. You're also in the prime. You also walk into a room and everybody like, there go Pisces, Blackfoot. All right, it's your time. They say that the sun shine on the dog ass every now and then. So the sun is shining on your ass because the sun is in Leo. Okay, I mean the sun rules Leo. So this is when you're very passionate, you're very driven. Okay, you're very creative, right? You have this fortitude and this strength about you and this pride about what you put out in the atmosphere as far as your work ethic. That's why you're the shit right now. Both of y'all are at a time in y'all lives to where y'all are the shit right now. Okay? But you're also at a time where it's requiring a lot of physical fitness to make it to this point. You got to be healthy to do that. Okay? You got to be healthy to do that. Now, again, like I said, the biggest thing for the Pisces here, born in 316, this is the third deacon of Pisces. So you want to be careful about reflexes, all right? Reflexes, all right? And also digestion. Reflexes and digestion are going to be the biggest things for you, Pisces Blackfoot. Your digestive system and your reflexes, okay? Anything else? What's going on, Eugene? Sweet Matter said we're spirit twins. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, Pisces Blackfoot, all facts. That's all we need to know. And that's all we need to know. And that's just what it's all about right there, man. Like I said, really for that little funky music, $50 that right there would have done it for most of you guys. But we decided to give you more, a lot less, right? You only giving us your birthday, but we want to try to give you as much information as we possibly can, based on the individual that's giving us the least amount of information. And a lot of people call me back and be like, after thoughts about this, after thinking about it, after watching you on your lives, after meditating on it and reading it over, I realized how in the hell you know this. And it's like, I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't know you. I still don't know what's good for you. I still don't know what may work for you. Now, the reality of it is that, yes, I'm probably one of the top herbalists on the planet when it comes to biology, when it comes to you just learn knowing plants. Anywhere from black cohosh to black walnut to wormwood to, you know what I'm saying, to artemisia, the real wormwood. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Sweet wormwood, right? That's called sweet Annie. But all these different types of herbs, thuja to periwinkle. I mean, it's so many herbs I know, sweet sorrel, all these cancerous herbs, man. I know all the herbs. I know all of your body parts. But this is still better than me. And I'm okay with conceding to nature. I'm okay with bowing down. And I ain't trying to come over here and be like old bro and tell you moringa. Moringa is the most nutritious herb. It's the most nutritious herb on the planet. Y'all can go Google moringa. It's the most nutritious herb on the planet. Man, if moringa one of the oldest herbs on the planet too. If it was like you said it was, we would have been on it. It don't take you to highlight no moringa. It don't take you to highlight no moringa. Pimp moringa is older, is one of the oldest herbs, and it's been well known to be nutritious. But it ain't no panacea, which is what you're trying to market it as. You're trying to market moringa as a panacea. Moringa ain't no panacea. If that's the case, everybody would have been known about moringa, man. Moringa been out chump. It's an old ass plant. Okay. Well, I don't watch a lot of them on these social media. I watch them. I watch. I watch the man that think cause he growing some plants in the back patio that he know what he talking about. I know folk who feel like because they live in the woods, they know what they talking. I know folk who feel like they bucket naked on TV and they ain't wearing no clothes and they know what they talking about. I know folk that do the sound bowls and the Reiki healing and got all kind of leather and copper all everywhere. And you feel like they know, but they don't know shit either, right? Because it's not a costume that's gonna make you do this. You can't volunteer for this, and you can't dress up for it. And there is no costumes, and there is no what they used to call them props that you can use to be able to come up here and speak what nature says about a person. There's no way you can fake this. So you calling people out now? I ain't calling nobody out. I ain't saying no name. Y'all know who I'm talking about though. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't saying no name. Not one size fits all. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I drink that blood purifier and be on point. I know, man. I know. But you gotta understand that there are certain things that work according to nature that don't require your belief in it for it to work. There's certain things that go on in nature that don't require your permission, that don't require your opinion, that don't require your control, your force. You can't stop it or start it. There are certain things that go on in nature that don't give a damn if you believe in it or not. It's gonna do it, right? And I like that about nature because it allows us to understand who actually has precedence over the other. Okay, and I ain't scared to get in my place. Now I might fight tooth and nail to get in my place when I'm fighting against another man, but when it comes to nature, I fold. So yes, I can be conceited and say I will. I could be the one of the best herbalists on the planet. Yeah, especially knowing this information, and I could charge y'all out the wazoo as well. Believe it. You know what I mean? Believe it. I could charge out the wazoo as well. But at the end of the day, I feel like that ain't necessary. And the gifting that I have, I know that it's not sellable. Let me repeat that one more time for the folk that's in the back. I know that the gifting that I got is not sellable. But what we do and what we have understood is that it could benefit the person by person. I can't try to do this to build teachers, but I can do this for the students that want to know. You know how folks say, well, you come take my course, and you can do your own courses, and you come take my class, and you'll be a teacher by no time. I can't build teachers from this. Okay. So you can't learn me and watch me to go try to teach this to the masses because you won't get it that way. But if you are in trouble, if you got high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune disease, cancer, dealing with dialysis issues, if you're dealing with arthritic issues, if you're dealing with rheumatoid arthritis and dealing with all kinds of issues with your nervous system and your digestive system, and you're just needing a cure, you're needing to have something tangible that you can hold on to when all else has failed. That's what we're offering you. There's not a product that can save you, but there is a program. Don't wait too late. Get the program. What we got here on YouTube? YouTube, A Dizzle. You still in the building, A Dizzle? A Dizzle, you still in the building, A Dizzle. If A Dizzle still in the building, that's why your birthday on YouTube, you guys. We are live on YouTube as well. Okay, so y'all can go over there. A Dizzle say, yes, I'm still in the building. 7/11/1980. All right. 7/11/1980. All right. So off the rip, you got 621 to 721, which is gonna make you what? A Cancer, right? So A Dizzle, you know that your starting line is your finish line, right? So at the end of the day, it's about you getting back to that Cancer in you around this chart, okay? Around this chart. Now, you 1 year younger than me, so you're gonna be 45 this year, right? So you're 44 right now. So you say 10, 20, 30, 40, and 4. Okay. So right now you're currently 4 years into your Scorpio. Okay, 4 years into your Scorpio. What is 4 years into my Scorpio? Oh, it's into the intimate phase, man. Being very intimate, being very intense. Okay, so you can find this intense time for you. Also, something about a joint venture, or maybe trying to take out a loan to do business with somebody, or to go into business with somebody. You've been thinking about that for the last couple of years. Okay, that's the Scorpio phase that you're in. Now, here's the big thing: is that you're in the spiritual phase of life. You're at your most highest state right now. A Dizzle, okay? You're at your most highest state right now. I know A Dizzle down now. Oh, I thought somebody was laughing. Renee Ross. Oh, you're at your most highest state right now, okay? Your highest state. You're at your highest. So this is a spiritual time for you, A Dizzle, All right, so you want to do less physical work, more spiritual. Matter of fact, you've been watching, so you know this is rest. At your most highest state, you rest. At your lowest state, you work. You at rest. Don't allow this time to physically drain you because when you get back over here, you ain't gonna make it because you'll be wore out. Okay, so you're at your physical time, not your spiritual time. Allow that to set in for what it's worth. Just like with me, I'm in my Libra right now. I'm a Gemini, 6 years old. I'm right here. I'm in my spiritual time. So guess what? I don't clock in. I don't go to work for nobody. All I do is what I do right here. Internet. I draw things closer. Okay. I have family overseas. I came overseas to where the family is at. So we ain't got to be exuding too much physical energy. Draw things closer unto me during my spiritual time. All right. You get that, A Dizzy? A Dizzy? All right. Now, as far as this right here is concerned, your two main things that you want to worry about being a Cancer, especially in the third deacon of Cancer, is watch out for your sense of touch and the joints. Okay, hey, deal with your joints and your sense of touch. Your joints and your sense of touch, a dizzle. All right. Any questions? Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. We got about 38 more minutes, man. I'll be out of you guys' hair. Got about 38 more minutes, and I'll be out of you guys' hair. What is it that you don't understand about that what you're seeing? I know you just keep asking me about birthday after birthday. What is it about this that you don't understand? Hmm? What is it about it you don't understand? My knee has been bothering me. Yeah, so you are going to be prone for this is on my YouTube TikTok, but yes, hey, this is you're going to be prone to that because of the Capricorn. Every Cancer is a Capricorn. Every Capricorn is a Cancer. Now, guess what? Cap a corn. Cap. Kneecap. You got the word kneecap from knee Capricorn. Okay, knee Capricorn. So my knee has been bothering me is a tall tale sign of the Capricorn in you. Now, although you don't know nothing about Capricorn because all you know is about the Cancer in you, that's what you get with your owner's manual that is missing in most other natal readings, is that they don't tell you about your two sun signs. We do. Okay, we do. So you see you're having Capricorn problems, and you like, damn, I ain't no Capricorn though. Yes, you are. Every Cancer is a Capricorn, every Capricorn is a Cancer. Question, keep seeing triple numbers but not understanding why. Numbers and all that type of stuff don't really phase me, okay? Because the triple numbers for me all break down into one digit, right? So if you seeing three threes, all I look at is the number 9. Okay, if you seeing five fives, all I look at is the number 6. Okay, I mean if you seeing three fives, all I look at is the number 6. You say how you see the number 6 out of three fives? 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. See, 3 is 9, right? 6 is 9. So I see one number. That's what you need to break it down into so that you can start to really make sense of it. Okay, break it down into one number. So thank you when you see those numbers like that. They thank you to the universe. Okay, makes sense. So a Gemini is a Sagittarius also. Yes. That's why you'll find a lot of Geminis with eye issues. A lot of Geminis have eye issues, not because you got two eyes, because that's the Sagittarian quality of a Gemini. Geminis with eye issues are experiencing Sagittarian issues. Okay. A Sagittarius with hand issues, with lung issues, with nervous system issues, anxiety issues is experiencing Geminian qualities. Okay. What you mean about what does the 6 mean? I only do things with health. So if you want to talk about what it means health wise, then I can tell you. I'm a Pisces. Okay, good. What about Scorpio? What about Scorpio? You guys got to ask specific questions, okay? Scorpio is also a white. Uh, yeah, so health wise, the number six is the air element, okay? Health wise, the number six is the air element. So it's going to be talking about uh, manipulating the air, talking to yourself, going on outdoor excursions, being outdoors more often, using incense. Also, we're talking about autoimmune issues. Also, we could be talking about grief and depression being one of the main things that you have to worry about spiritually. Okay, so it just all depends on what what you want to talk about, how you want to go about it. But that's what the number six means to me is the air element, which is the heart chakra, which is autoimmune, immune system issues, grief and depression, et cetera, respiratory issues, all of that. My mother's a Capricorn, and okay, so then need to check in with the sad side tendencies of having eye issues. Yeah, you need to check in with the sad sides. Period. But that's the other part of you. You can't wait until you can't neglect it until it presents a problem. You got to talk to that person and get to know that person before that joker present a problem. You know what I'm saying? Don't know where I'm dealing with. What you talking about? I don't know where I'm dealing with. Oxy P, I don't know what you question asking. The number three is self-control issues. It's digestive. Digestive. Fox and P, I just did you, so I'm not gonna do you again unless you got. You need to pay your little funky measly $50. Stop coming out here trying to get this stuff for free. So the main was only 50 funky dollars. Yeah, yeah, energy reloaded. Yeah, you DM me, you get the information. A program got us sick unknowingly. A program will cure us unknowingly. Not a product. Well said, bro. Yes, thank you, Karma. So being a Libra air sign and keeping seeing the number six. Thank you. It ain't got nothing with what numbers you're seeing. Okay, it don't have nothing to do with that. But if you want to talk about that, then that's fine. You're an air sign Libra. You keep seeing six, which is an air sign number. Okay, it's okay. Opposite of Scorpio. Every Scorpio is a Taurus. Every Taurus is a Scorpio. The opposite of the Scorpio is a Taurus. The Sun Ray of Life 92881. 92881 is going to be a Libra. Okay, and that's going to be in the beginning stages of Libra. So you want to watch out for your metabolism and watch out uh, for your head injuries. Okay, head injuries and metabolism. All right, Son of Ray of Life, head injuries and metabolism. You want to watch out for those. Okay, but 928 coming over here. You been Libra, so you right here, 81. So you what, 44 years old? So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 4. You're in your Aquarian stage, right? But you're still in the spiritual aspects of life. You're still at your most spiritually high, your spiritual consciousness. You want to rest. You're more at your rest phase now than at your work phase, right? So you want to rest that body, rest that spirit, rest that mind. But you're in your Aquarian state. So right now, you've always been about giving back, community involvement. Right now, you're just about helping somebody. You're trying to help somebody. That's just where you at right now, son of ray of light. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, to be in that, but you also understand you're in that spiritual, you're in that most high state. So that's cool. That's cool. The biggest thing is don't physically wear yourself out in a spiritual time of your life. Okay, don't physically wear yourself out at a spiritual time in your life. How do we sign up? Auntie E, if you're wanting more information in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information. So just go to your DM here. You can DM me. The opposite of Pisces is a Virgo. Every Virgo is a Pisces, and every Pisces is a Virgo. Okay. Yes, every Aquarius is a Leo. Every Leo is an Aquarius. Yes. I'm going to get it. I've been with husband and I'm in the hospital for 3 weeks. I think it's worth it. They're going through a lot. Oh, yeah, we'll help you, Foxy P. No problem. We'll help you. We got you. The only thing that we don't want to do is, like I said, I'm a human being. So, there's human fallibility. I can make a human mistake. That's why I'm glad that I was able to be blessed with a gift to be able to talk to nature by using your birthday. Okay. I'm glad of that because it takes me. Look, without this, it was nerve wracking. Okay, nerve wracking trying to figure out your health problem, and you coming up here, you still got cancer, you still got diabetes, you still gonna end up leaving here and dying. And all. That's just nerve wracking. You know what I'm saying? Trust and believe. I know that, been there and done that. So for me to be able to have to concede this to nature, concede this to a greater gift than me, and me just understanding that I'm just the vessel. I don't have to be the voice. I don't have to be the result, but I can just be the vessel. Oh, I'm much obliged. I'm much obliged. I'm appreciative of the fact that I could just go to nature and be content and confident that nature knows more than me about you and what you need to know about your health. Foxy P, we just showed you where you was at when we did your birthday. I don't even know what you're talking about. We just showed you exactly where you was at. This makes sense because I had a construction business that I just let go. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's just where you at. That's just where you at, son of the red light. Okay, that's just where you at. You just at that spiritual time, that rest period. That's good. Don't fight against the waves. Okay, don't fight against the waves. All right, Foxy P. If you want more information, just DM me. We'll get you the information. Don't fight against the waves. Okay? This information is very important, especially the little stuff that I'm doing with y'all birthday, just to show you what wave to go along with, so that you don't fight against it. If you are being physical in a spiritual way, then you ain't gonna be able to dog paddle long enough. The spiritual part of life is deep. The spiritual part of life is deep. You can't dog pedal your way through this. You're gonna get tired and weary. The spiritual side of life is deep. You can't feel the bottom, which means that you got to dog pedal your way through this. You ain't physically fit enough to dog pedal your way through 60 years of spiritual experiences and then try to also have enough physical fitness to do what's physically required for another 60 years. I doubt it. If you can't see that this is going to get you to 120 years old, standing upright, and that if I can get you to 120, I can get you to 240, I can get you to 360, I can get you to everlasting life. But if you feel like 120 years is something that's impossible, then you damn sure don't believe that everlasting life is something that's accomplished for you. Okay? Because in order for you to get everlasting life, you must learn how to preserve your body, which means that you must learn how to preserve your mind. Okay? Any question thus far? We're almost at 100K, you guys. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking, all right? Any questions thus far? Everybody can kind of see how this thing go. I know I got a lot of you guys that been with me for a long time, but it doesn't change anything. It's not stopping anything. The best thing you get with this is the remedies, okay? So you know that there are a lot of people who are getting their honest manual who are also getting their herbal blend. These herbal blends we are able to ship out to you. You don't necessarily got to get your herbs from me, but you're gonna have the herbs in your honest manual, okay? You ain't got to go grocery shopping at Kroger, but you're gonna have the foods to go grocery shopping with in your owner's manual. So it don't matter where you're gonna get them from. What we do is simply add a service by blending your herbs up and have it ready for you. But know that when you get your owner's manual, the herbs that you see in your owner's manual are to be blended up. That is a mix. It's not take this herb and then try that one and then try that one. No, If you got 7 herbs, 8 herbs, 9 herbs, 12 herbs, that is a herbal mix, a herbal blend that's specifically for you and your health needs and concerns. What's the opposite of Aries? Is a Libra, Sandy. Libra. Every Aries has Librian qualities, and every Libra has Aryan qualities. Okay. I already got my manual, just needed a little more insight. Okay, that's what's up. Can you be in your spiritual side of life in your 30s or have to be older? Thank you. Great question, Achiever. Yes, you can be born into this, into your spiritual highness. You can be born in it, right? So just like I said the other day, you got some people who were born at a good time in life, right? And they're gonna have a bad latter in life. And you got some folks who gonna have a bad beginning of life and a great latter part of life. So it just all depends. Everybody's not gonna get the same thing at the same time. But you are promised the two dynamics if you can live long enough to work into those dynamics. You ain't just promised sickness, you can heal as well. You ain't just promised poor, you can be rich as well. You're not just promised this, but you also got that. You just got to be able to live long enough to see the transition. Okay. We had the transition from hunter gatherers into farmers. That was a transition. Okay. Let's see if I got a little thing up here, YouTube. I'm just trying to show them a little receipt that I got. That's if TikTok will let me show it. It's just about the transition. Okay. See how you transition from that man up at the top right there with the most menial of tools and resources. Then you learn how to use an animal. Then you learn how to tame them and farm them. And then next thing you know, you learn how to do everything yourself with machinery, right? So it's transitions that are happening that you must keep open. You must keep the portal of transition open. If you close that door of transitioning, then yes, you will be sucked into sickness and you won't see your way out. But if you keep the transition, the portal open, then you can go from sickness to heal. Okay? You only got two options when you get sick. Either you're gonna get sick unto death or you get sick until you heal. And we're trying to get you sick until you heal. Right? Well, we ain't trying to get you sick, but we're trying to get you healing if you are sick. Right? So that's the thing that you need to understand. Okay. User 297 said the herbal blend worked for me. That's all we need to hear right there. Thank you. Because you could have said that it wasn't shit. You could have said it wasn't hitting on nothing. You could have said, fuck that nigga don't know what the hell he talking about. But instead, you still told the truth and said your opinion, and we appreciate you for that. And that's all we want. All we want you to know is that all we taking is your birthday down. We don't know you from a can of paint. We ain't asking for your saliva sample. We ain't asking for no blood sample, no blood type. We ain't asking for no urine sample, no stool sample, no hair sample. We ain't trying to prick you, prod you, or poke you. We ain't asking for no live culture from that little bump on your body. We're not asking for none of this stuff. We're not asking for your credit card number. We ain't asking for your home address. We ain't asking for what time you were born, what location you were born. We're just asking for a birthday. Simple. And we're coming up with all this information. And for somebody to sit there and say the herbal worked for me, and we ain't even chase that person's disease. We ain't even give a damn about the arthritis or the blood pressure, whatever the person. We just gave you the what Mama said in your reading. We gave it to you, and now here you is, user 297 with no face on that, which means you could have trolled and been said any kind of thing without making this thing. And you still chose to tell the truth enough to say that although this man didn't give me shit for my issue, it helped me with my issues. And that all came from a birthday. When ordering teas, how many servings are given? You get a month supply. Okay, you get a month supply. Okay. If you're taking it one time a day, you get a month supply. If you're taking it a couple times a day, then obviously it won't be a month supply, right? But if you're just needing it for one time a day to kind of resolve some slight stuff, some light stuff, or preventative measures, then yeah, that one time a day, 30-day supply. If you pop in 2 and 3 teas a day, then obviously it'll go a lot faster than that. And I'm going to recommend you do what you got to do. So if you're okay with one time a day, then I'm okay with it. If you gotta take it 2 or 3 times a day, then don't be looking at the 30-day supply. Just look at taking it. Look, this stuff is for $25, $35 at the most. These native blends. So we're not busting you upside the head with none of this stuff. Okay, none of this stuff. Yeah, we're not gonna bust you upside the head with none of it, right? So you don't have to worry about uh absurd pricing, price gouging. That's the last thing you gotta worry about over here. We ain't finna do none of that over here. All right. So what's up, man? We almost there, you guys. I got about 18 more minutes with you guys. If you keep tapping, I'll keep talking. I just wanted to make this video very quick, understanding that agriculture, the whole thing about agriculture, to take medicine and to take food back into our own hands. You wouldn't be able to know agriculture without understanding the cycles of the sun. We now understand how to grow something in if you're trying to develop and grow a particular activation of something in you, you must know how to raise that thing up, how to make that thing come to fruition within your life, how to manifest that thing, and how to magnify that thing so that you can have exactly what you're looking for. And again, if you have a physical weakness, you got to be able to tap into your spiritual consciousness to bring this power about. Hopefully, we showed you that today. Hopefully, we showed you how this whole thing of agriculture, this reproductive undertone, is about creating the dynamic between your higher self and lower self, your left brain, right brain, your masculine and feminine energy. Allow them to make intercourse and create the ultimate ideal for you in your life. Whether that's you being wealthy, whether that's you being healthy. Allow the two magnificent forces within you to have intercourse and create the biggest idea, the biggest baby that you've ever fathomed in your life. And I promise you, you're going to see residual. And this thing is all within you. This baby is there. It ain't that you just got to have a man outside of you. It's the man inside of you that also you need. It ain't just you just got to have a woman outside of you. It's the woman inside of you that you need as well. It's the energy inside of you that you need to know just as much the species outside of you. Okay? And understanding the dynamic of the reproductive undertone that's at the fundamental precipice of creating self-healing modalities and self-healing activation systems and being able to get this far that we've got to as a conglomerate, as the human species, we've understood that there is something more, something greater in us that must be able to be produced, must be able to come out of us. And that's what we're trying to get you to spawn. We're trying to get you to grow and develop that real understanding of how to grow a baby in you. And we guys, we are full of babies. We are full of babies. We're full of ideas. We're full of creativity. We're full of manifestations that we just, for some reason, can't get to be able to be produced. And it's because we don't know the times and seasons for these ideas to be planted in the bosom of the universe, in the fertility of nature. In my most highest state, I'm at my most fertile. Now let that sink into your spirit, young man, young woman, old man, old woman. When I'm at my most highest state of consciousness, I'm at my most fertile. How can you tell if people have money on the chart? Uh, how can you tell if people have money on the chart? Nah, I don't go into that, man. I appreciate the question, but we don't go into that. Short explanation on how the food company works. Yes, all of the colors of your food. What makes the food have color is the medicine in the food. So when we're talking about carotenoids, beta carotenoids, flavonoids, when you're talking about resveratrol, lutein, zeaxanthin, anthocyanins, when you're talking about all these different phytonutrients, instead of having to learn all of those particular phytonutrients, then you can just tell by the colors. So we say shop by color and you'll get the medicine. It just makes it easy for the average person that don't want to go down that road of trying to figure out what all the phytonutrients are. Is shop by color. Okay. So greens are going to be for your chlorophyll. Greens are going to be for your immune system. You got your yellows and oranges is going to be for your digestive system, your reproductive health. You got the reds is going to be for your blood health, your heart health. You got the reds also going to be for arthritic conditions. You got the blues and purples going to be for your nervous system issues, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Can you go over the I invest again? I don't understand the question. Can you go over the I invest? I don't remember going over that. I had to go look up those words in Dutch. As Cecil said, I had to go look up those words in Dutch. What words? What words you talking about that you had to go look up in Dutch? And over the I invest. Should I do green juice only to reset my body if I'm sick? If you want to do the quick way, then yes, the green juice 3 times a day for 14 days will get you back to recovery a lot faster. It's like a first aid. Okay, if you can't get a detox going and you're just trying to do a first aid, first rule of thumb, then the green juice for 14 days, 3 times a day should be it. The food words. Oh yeah, yeah, I already know. Yeah, you got to be able to all them zeaxanthin, lutein, and yeah, man, you got to know. But instead of having to know all of that, shop by color. All of the foods by color are on your owner's manual, so you get that in your owner's manual as well. You were talking about in spring. Yes, springtime is growth and development, so it's investment in growth. Okay, investment in your growth. Okay, Lolita, investment in your growth. So it's just telling you to be okay with growing in that season, like knowing that it's spring and be okay with growing and developing. Don't fight against things that may arise up. It's going to be about your growth and development in certain areas of life. Taurus things are personal possessions. So you're growing and developing your personal possessions. That's what Taurus will teach you in spring. Excited about the manual. I'll let you know how it goes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. It's normally 24-hour turnaround on your owner's manual, okay? So we having people all across the globe that are coming in. Again, we're coming live from South Africa. So we have people from the UK and pretty much everywhere now getting the owner's manual. If you are out of the country, please let me know that you're out of the country. Okay. When you're DMing me, you email me, just give me a heads up. Hey, yo, I'm from UK. Hey, I'm from this, I'm from that. That way, we'll send you a special invoice for you to be able to fill out. Otherwise, you won't be able to fill out the regular invoice because you're out of the country. I'm ready to move to another state. How do I know when it's time? Marina Bell, you just got to know when you're there in life, but you'll know when it's that time. But you want to be mindful of is it at the right time in nature? Okay. So you got to figure out where you are in nature to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But if you're ready to move, you're probably mentally already there. So you might be already there as far as nature's concerned. You just got to get your priorities in order to make that thing. Because if you want to move, there ain't nothing stopping you but you. Might just be time to plan. Yeah, you just got to know where you at. Because, like I said, she could be at the Sagittarian phase of life and don't even know it. And don't even know it. And Because you ain't moving when nature's saying move, then you're fighting against nature. You see what I'm saying? We gotta stop fighting against our nature. We gotta stop fighting against nature. It's what's causing us these diseases. We gotta stop fighting against our nature, and we gotta stop fighting against nature. But you don't know your nature because you don't know nature. Okay? I'm in summer. Okay, well, if you're in summer, then you ain't ready yet. If you're in summer, you ain't ready yet as far as nature is concerned, because movement happens in fall. What's that say? All right, you guys, man. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We got about 9 more minutes left. It's about 105K. We got about 100 or so people into the live today. I appreciate all of you guys. If you are interested in the owner's manual, please DM me. We'll get you the information that you need. I appreciate all of you guys, man. You know, I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time. Love her, man. Peace, peace, peace. If you guys are interested in calling me, look, you call me between the times of 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Save my contact, download WhatsApp, give me a shout out. I love you guys. Until next time. Peace. I didn't put my name, just a message. Michelle Love, you need to put your name there. I ain't gonna know you without no name. All right, peace. YouTube. Peace out.